Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today for our next in the GrooveDigital series. Today we're going to be focusing on GrooveSell, and Cheryl is going to take us on a little tour of that particular app within the Groove platform in just a moment. And before we head into that, let's just create the space, get grounded, because this is a lot of technology. It's a lot of information. So we can just take a few moments to get present. You feel your feet on the floor, your body against the chair, and become aware of your breath. Just let yourself inhale through the nose. Exhale slowly through the mouth. And place your attention at the base of the spine. Go ahead and take a couple more breaths in this space. And also know that at any point, if you do get overwhelmed or just working on the computer, we can get more in our heads and out of our bodies, and it can be a lot at once. You can always bring your attention just right back to your breath, the base of your spine, ground that energy and keep on going. So with that, when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. And Cheryl, I'll hand it over to you.
Okie dokie. So today what I'm going to do, ladies, is instead of doing, the last couple of times I've been alternating between going from either a slideshow that we did the first time or into the actual dashboard that we did last time. And today when I went into the GrooveSell dashboard, because we're going to be working in GrooveSell today, I decided that it can get pretty complicated pretty fast because there's so much, and I didn't want it to get confusing for you. So because of that, I decided to do a screen flow type of, a presentation type thing. So I am going to be sharing my screen with you. And it doesn't seem to be on it. Becca, don't go away if you're in the background somewhere, because for some reason my screen share is not working. So let me get out of this and try again.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, I'm right here. I just took my video off right now.
Okay, so let me see. Did it work that time?
Yes.
Are you seeing the slides, everybody? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, so basically, as you know, we kind of approached this whole series on the basis of looking at it for the 5 steps that it's going to take you to get your offer out of your head and out into the world. And I had kind of brought it down to 5 steps that you needed to do. And just to refresh your memory a little bit, in those steps, these were the 5 steps that I kind of simplified it as. And in Thursday's session, we talked about where your offer lives. And so we talked a lot about Groove pages and Groove funnels and how that would work for a place for your offer to live. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this 3rd step, and it's where you need to set up a shopping cart. Okay. So obviously if your customers can't pay you, it's not really an exchange of, it's not a good exchange. Let's put it that way. So what we're going to do is we are going to look at specifically GrooveSell, and let me switch to this one over here and tell you a little bit about GrooveSell. And so actually, because we kind of started with that Q&A, you already know how much I absolutely believe in this platform. And again, the reason why I love it so much, though, is because it has within this one big platform all of these individual little pieces of software that you normally would have to tie together in so many different ways. And not only does it allow you to do this all in one place, it provides all kinds of other services that are make it really easy for you to even do things like affiliate programs that we've talked about a little bit. So today we're going to literally look at the GrooveSell dashboard, and I'm going to explain the basics to you, again, trying to keep that overwhelm away. So in the Groove dashboard, and I don't know why I made this so far away from me, so I'm going to sit a little closer to my screen so I could actually see the slide a little bit better. But when you're inside the GrooveSell dashboard, all right, there's two separate settings within the dashboard itself. And there's the vendor dashboard and the affiliate dashboard. And I circled the affiliate dashboard in red here just to show the distinction that there are two separate ones. And what we want to be working in always in the beginning is our vendor dashboard, because the vendor dashboard has everything to do with you and your business. The affiliate dashboard is when you're helping to sell somebody else's product and you're the affiliate. So for example, Groove, the second that you sign up for their free account, you get links to help you share it with other people if you want. It's part of Mike's Butterfly Marketing. And that's something we're going to save for much later, okay? Because I really want to concentrate on getting you guys up and running. So what we're going to do is we're going to look specifically at the vendor dashboard within GrooveSell. So let's go to that. There's a couple of different ways that when you're working in it, you could always know that you're in it. And I have those surrounded in green. All right. It says GrooveSell and it says vendor in green. And also, did I go? I think I may have skipped a slide. I did. Okay. So over here with the green, it says vendor. So you know you're in the vendor dashboard. It also says it up here. Can you see my mouse too with the way I have this set up? You can. Okay. So you can see the vendor dashboard here as well. And then there's different ways that you can navigate around it. And this particular time, I put the little purple ones around this little funnel here and over here, new funnel, because after you create your offer in Groove Pages, like we discussed on Thursday, then you move over to GrooveSell and you start putting your shopping cart together. And again, this GrooveSell kind of takes the place of a Sam's Cart and whatever. There's a ton of affiliate management programs out there, whatever the affiliate management program that you may choose to use otherwise. So once you're inside here, what ends up happening is that you want to create a new funnel. All right. And so we're going to look at that step 3 today and how you do it. So one of the first things that you do, all right, is that you would go in here and you have to recreate that funnel in the sense that you're carrying it over in a different way. All right. So where we created, if you remember, we were in my niece's website the other day, and I showed you a couple of her sales funnels that she had going on. And she had one for children's art lessons and one for her original artwork. And so one of the first things that we did when we got here is we created a new product and we called it Children's Art Lessons, because that's what we called it over in Groove Pages. And again, just to make the distinction between the two, over here where Groove Pages is and Groove Funnels, that's where you build your pages that have the words. All right, that's what people see. They see the offer page. They see your offers. They see that they have a choice between maybe a gold membership or a silver membership or a platinum membership. So everything on Groove Pages and Groove Funnels is what your clients visually see. It's part of your website. It's part of your offer pages. What we're doing here is we're doing the background step to allow your people to pay you. And so it's easiest, again, if you choose the same name. And when we move forward to the workshops, We're going to be going through this very specifically. So again, this is just going to be an overview of how you do it. But here, what we did for her was we created this children's art lessons and this digital. Now, when you create a new product, all right, you can do it by navigating over to here and going under product funnels and choosing a new product. Or you can actually, well, in a little bit, we're going to click on an existing one for you to see it. But one of the first things that you're going to see is a page that is as simple as this, where you have to name your product and you just fill in all the blanks. And this one down here, I'm not going to talk about yet because domains and choosing the right domain and everything is a whole nother topic. So we'll cover that in the workshop. But I wanted to point this out here for only one reason, to get it into the back of your head right now. When you're working in Groove, always look for these pink buttons that are toggled on, because this is a really handy little thing if you're ready for it. But this over here says shows in marketplace. Groove also has a marketplace where if you left this toggled on and you created your whole offer, it's going to automatically put that offer in the marketplace for other people to sell for you, which is wonderful because you can get a lot of exposure for what you're selling and what you're offering. But I would never recommend to leave this toggled on. And I wish that they would take that off and keep it toggled off as the main thing. And the reason why I say that is because if you are going to offer your product up to affiliates to sell for you, you want to make sure that it's completely done, completely polished, and that you also have materials that will help them sell your brand for you. So you would want to create some creatives. You would want to make sure that you may have an email sequence for them to use. You want to be, suggesting to them how to sell your brand for you. So I would never have this toggled on in the beginning. I would develop my whole sales funnel thing and have my product up and have it polished and create my little things for my affiliates. And then I would come back and turn this on. But I wanted to make you aware of that whenever you see a pink toggled on button, just notice it and take a moment to see why it's toggled on. All right. So that's just a little thing in your little bonnet to move forward with. All right. So once you fill in all of this stuff, though, it's super easy to move on. Now, it will walk you through. I didn't want to create a new product in Ashley's account. So I just want to show you here the steps that it takes you through. It takes you through 11 steps. Now, these 11 steps are really easy to do because what they do is they put it into a, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. Like a wizard. All right. And it takes you step by step through these 11 steps. So you can't mess anything up. So again, it's their way of taking you by the hand and leading you through everything that needs to be done. So up here in the green, again, I showed you those 11 steps. All right. And the wizard is going to take you through every single one of these. And then also I wanted to show you here in the step 1 that you would be in first, when you're naming your main product, you could decide what type of product within your funnel this is. Now, when we talked about funnels the other day a little bit, you know that you could have more than one product. You can have an upsell, you could have a sales bump. And so you just have to tell the system what product it is. So I always recommend that you do your front end product first. And it makes it super easy, though. After you do your front end product, you can come in and do the same thing if you have an upsell, and you can do the same thing if you have an order bump. The wizard would still take you through all 11 steps. And so I wanted to point that out to you there. But on the other part of it, where it starts bringing you through all of these different steps, the other thing that I think is just really kind of cool in this is it makes it easy to have very flexible ways to make your offer to your people. All right. So not only does it offer one-time payments, it also will allow you to create all of different price points. This is actually an image I split in two. So the top part of it here, it's still under pricing, but this is where it allows you to do the different packages. Like, so for Ash's children's art, she has, I think it's a package of, well, it probably says it here. If not, yeah, on the bottom where it says price point description, the gold package has 20 art lessons. And then her silver package may have maybe 10 or 15, and her bronze has 10. And so this whole area here allows you to create those different price points very easily. She happened to call them her gold package, silver package, and bronze package. Now, the flexibility continues when you're setting up how you want to allow people to pay, because you can offer a one-time payment, a recurring payment, if it's like a membership. You can also, if it's a higher end service, say you're offering a $3,000 package, you can offer them a one-time payment for the $3,000, or you can offer them an installment plan where they pay. That's kind of what Groove is doing now, where they're offering the 3-pay or the 6-pay. And so it just makes it very easy for you to choose which one you want to do. And it puts it into, it does all the mechanics for you once you make the decision on the top level of what you're looking to do. And as it works through all of these different steps up here, as you continue to go through it, again, you just put in all your information once for that product, and the system does the rest of the work for you. So if you do decide that you want to change a price point, all you have to do is come back to the product funnel, change it here, and it automatically will change it everywhere else on your Groove funnels pages. When they hit that pay button, it'll change it everywhere else for you. So it makes it just very easy for you to move forward and not forget any steps. So after you're done with that, you kind of hop over to the another section where you create a checkout page. Now, the checkout page is also kind of cool, I think, because what it does is it allows you to fill in your checkout forms, and it customizes the experience again for people, and you get to brand it and everything else how you want it to look. And again, I just kind of feel like it makes a better customer experience when you have more control over how everything looks. You can't really do this with PayPal or anything else to this extent, unless they've added some new stuff since I've been in there last. But again, it allows you to do your branding and carry things over. So I like it for that. So now, as far as that step 3 is concerned, once you do this, you have step 3 completed. You have a way for your customers to pay you. All right. And in next week's session, we're going to talk about how to deliver it and how to have good communication with them. But there's other stuff in GrooveSell that I want to make you aware of, so you know what it's capable of doing. So also in here, what they have is this affiliate marketplace that I was saying. But now, because we're in still the vendor part of GrooveSell, when you're in this part where the green says affiliate and up here it says affiliate, these are your affiliates. This is where you work and co-create something with someone else. So if Becca creates a program that I really feel my people would be interested in, Becca would go into this part of hers and create an affiliate relationship for me. And we would just, she would decide how much she wants to give me commission for me sending stuff her way. And there's all kinds of different stuff in here that you can do to manage those. And again, we're not going to get into the details of it, because right now, I don't think any of you are going to be setting up an affiliate program right off the bat. It's more important that you get your work out there. I want you to know it's here though, because again, it makes it very easy. And anytime that there's questions, it walks you through the different steps. So I think that the way they have this set up, it's just kind of a win-win situation for you and your affiliates because they make it very, very easy. You can make separate contracts between people if you want. There's a lot of different options. And then another thing that they have is this customer area. And again, I've marked it in green over here so you can see the different part of the dashboards. But in this area, what you do is you get all of your information about your customers. So if you were to click on the data, and you could read the data at any point, by default, it goes to the last 24 hours. But if you click on this little section over here, you can look at the last week or the last month or from the beginning of when you created that particular sales funnel that you're looking at. So all of your customer information, all of the data, all of your metrics throughout all of Groove have this, that it defaults to the recent 24 hours, but it gives you choices on how far back you want the data to go. So again, all of your customer information, it would list their addresses. If you're asking for addresses, Ash happens to be doing that because on her original art, she has to mail them the painting. So she needs their address. She would come here for that information. And also it's where you configure your cart abandonment. And if you're not familiar with that, again, don't worry about it now. We'll be talking about that at a later date as well. But that's when somebody puts an item in the sales, in the cart, in the shopping cart, and then they get distracted. My phone rang, my dog barks, I have to let my dog out. I walk away and I get distracted and I don't come back. All right. So there are settings that you can do. The system picks up the fact that somebody abandoned that cart, and you can decide how you want to deal with that. A lot of times you deal with it by the simplest way is to send an email. Down the line, they're going to be incorporating to how you can send texts and everything else and send text messages. Right now, you can do that in the e-commerce platform of Groove Cart, but you can't do it here yet. They haven't tied that in yet. But cart abandonment is a really important thing to address down the line because you really are leaving an awful lot on the table if you don't address the cart abandonment. So that's in this section as well. And then also next up over here is, I really can't see this very clearly over here. The transactions this is the transaction area. It's the reporting area where you can get all the data that you need. And there's several reports that you can do. And this is when you're doing enough sales and everything that you want to start analyzing what's going on. So you can make some good choices moving forward for advertising, for how you want to grow and everything else. You just come here and you get all of your transactional reports if you need it for this. And then you come here and you get your other metrics put into report form. So you can analyze it and make the decisions that you need to make. And then this next area over here is where it is your product checkout links. This is where you come to do your checkout forms that I showed you where you customize everything. Now, there's also some other really cool things in here as well. And that is where you come in when you do want to create all of those things for your affiliate team. You come in here. This is actually called the tools section. And it has all of the tools that you need to create those email sequences and everything else, and an easy place for you to put it up for your affiliates to come in and get their affiliate links. And it's all just built in again. So that's something that you're going to want to look at down the line when you're ready to, create that affiliate program. But also for now, it's where you would come in if you want to offer special coupons for somebody. And so again, I've been using Ash as an example for her children's lessons. Sometimes she gets friends that want to take lessons together. So she came in and she offered a special discount if it was two different families, but they want their kids to come together. And so it's also where if you're having a special promotion that you want to do a certain percentage off for someone, you could create that coupon here. You're probably all familiar with coupon codes because you've used them before yourself, but this is where you create them. You create them in the tool section of GrooveSell. And also a little bit more on the tech end is when you want to do tracking links and page tracking, you come in here and set up that at a higher level. You can also do tracking on individual pages within Groove pages and Groove funnel itself. But again, that's stuff that I don't want anybody that's just starting out to worry about. That way, you set up after you get everything else good and going. I hate to see people get lost in that aspect of it if it puts a stop. It's a good thing to have in place to begin with if you can, if it doesn't overwhelm you. But if it's something that would stop you from getting your offer out there, I say let it sit, put it on your calendar for a couple of weeks out and revisit it. So all of that lives in here though, and it just kind of makes it easy again to have it all in one place. Now, again, I didn't want to overwhelm you with GrooveSell because there's the vendor part, the affiliate part. Then within the vendor part, there's their affiliate part, and there's just all these moving things. So you don't get overwhelmed. Just realize that you really only have to take a couple of little tiny steps in GrooveSell to get your cart set up, and then you're good to go. And then as you get more advanced in marketing strategies and what you want to do for your business, or you get clearer on something, you can come in here, revisit it, and implement some more of the strategies. So basically that is about it for GrooveSell that I wanted to cover. But speaking of overwhelm, I do want to remind everybody that, when you're part of Groove through Becca and me, we're doing this 6-week series that are going to be mini workshops where we're going to work side by side. It's going to be, I'm going to set up a new account for, I still haven't decided if it's going to be for a friend that I'm working on something for, or if it's for the nonprofit that I have to bring over from a different platform that I'm bringing over to my GrooveAccount. But I'm going to be creating a business on Groove just like you are. And we're going to do it step by step together, following the 5 steps that we talked about earlier over the 6-week period. So you won't be left alone on any of this. And then also we're going to be doing another couple of sessions. And this Thursday, we're going to be talking about the next step, which is the number 4 on how you're going to deliver your product. And we're going to talk about Groove Member, using that as a way to deliver the product or go to the next phase of how you're delivering your service or whatever. And also we're going to be talking about Groove Mail as a way to communicate with everyone. So the following Monday, which is just before they come out of beta and switch over to the monthly plan, that Monday, we're going to be doing a really quick overview at all of the different apps that I didn't cover because they're not the necessary part of getting your offer out there. They're the bells and whistles. They're what you use to help grow your business, to manage your business, to help your customer experience. So we'll overview those next Monday, and then we'll open it up to a final Q&A next Monday. So keep those dates in mind. We're going to do it the same way. The events, I think, I already posted. We posted the events already in Facebook. So they're already up there with the links and everything. But basically, that's what I wanted to share with you today. And, just keep into the format of going through each one of those 5 steps and showing you how Groove can help you get there. So what we will do now is bring you back up here, and we'll open it up to Q&A.
I just have a quick question for now. Is the workshops, are they posted on Facebook? How do we sign up for them?
No, when you sign up for Groove, all right, I get notification. And so I'll have your email and your contact information. And I actually still haven't decided, and I will do that by next week. and maybe we could see a show of hands over here, because I want to give everybody a chance to come on board with Groove and get into their account and start looking around a little bit. And so what I'm thinking is that we'll start the actual workshops the first week of March, but that last week of February, once everything's out of beta and we know who's going to be part of our workshop, I'm going to send out almost like a pre-workshop set of things to do, on what you should come to the workshop with on day one. An idea of what your offer is going to be. What do you want to call it? Do you want to start with an offer page, building out an offer page because you do know what your offer is? Or do you want to start building your actual website out because you're not sure what your offer is yet? So I'm going to give you a whole bunch of things that you need to bring to that first session so you truly could work side by side with me. And it'll be me working over here and you working over here in a different screen as you're watching. And it'll give you the actual ability to plug in all of the information that is pertinent to your business. So I'm thinking that for me to pull all of that together and also for you to then have a week to do that preliminary work. So when we do the first workshop, it's hit the ground running. And the workshops, we could show a show of hands. My most open days are Monday or Friday, that I have a lot more flexibility in my schedule. So just out of everybody here, if you had a choice, would it be Monday? All right, so Monday or Friday? Okay, and so maybe
mine would be okay as far as dates, but the time is the thing that I'm concerned about.
okay.
The one like today's time is good. 11 o'clock is my time, but Mondays is 10 o'clock, which is hard for me.
What time zone are you in, Phyllis?
Pacific.
Okay, so you're three hours behind us on the East
Right.
Coast.
Mhm.
Okay, so we should not do anything before 11 because that would be very early morning for you.
Well, it would be I have something else that would run into it because I get up early anyway.
Yeah.
But
okay. Yeah, so do I.
If that would work for others, yeah.
So
So it wouldn't matter if it were Monday or Thursday if you're doing it at 11 or after. Yeah.
And I wouldn't completely object to doing it on a weekend if that works better for everybody. I just have to do some rearranging of my schedule because I have a set thing that I do every weekend for the nonprofit that I run. But it's, it's my schedule, so I can adjust it if I know.
Yeah,
and
well, I think other people
perfect.
raise their hands at at Mondays. That would work for me too.
And Sylvia, you're not good for Mondays? Somebody wasn't good for Mondays.
I was good for Mondays. Cindy, how is?
I could do either really, Monday or Friday.
Okay. Is there anybody that can't do Friday?
I would prefer Mondays, and Sylvia can't do Friday.
Yeah, because I have something like Eastern time starting at 3 o'clock. It's a long session, like between 3 and 5 to 6. So
that's long to do 2 long sessions. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
Right, so why don't we say we do Mondays? And because there's only a couple of other people I know that are going to be on it right now, and and of course they're going to be recorded also. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to do this. We'll definitely record the sessions. All right. So you will have the workshop over the shoulder, whole business. All right. So we're going to record it and we're going to work together. And then what I'll do is after we're done, I won't say immediately after, but within 24 to 48 hours, what I will do is I'll make sure that I render the videos and get them up into a membership site. All right. And so that also will show you how you can deliver stuff yourselves in your business. All right. And so we'll do it in a membership site. And even though normally I don't use Groove Member, only because my courses have been developed before Groove Member came out, so they're in a different membership area, I will be sure to put that membership site up on Groove Member so you can see also how Groove Member works. All right. And so therefore you'll get a login, and everything, and you can go ahead and watch those videos over and over again if you want. And also Becca had a wonderful idea that when she was encouraging people to also do your own little work sessions together, if you find that beneficial, make your own arrangements to get together. But we'll plan on Monday. And I apologize, for some reason, I'm a little foggy brain today. If we're due at 1 o'clock Eastern time, that works for almost everybody. It does not work for you, Phyllis.
No.
2 o'clock or later, is that right?
2 o'clock or later?
Yeah.
Okay,
Two
and
would
that's okay, and that's true for you too, Becca, on Mondays too.
Yeah, that's a better time.
Okay, so does 2 o'clock work for everybody and give you enough time to transition from whatever you're doing before to come in and have a clear mind for sitting down and working? Okay,
Yes.
so let's definitely just set this time now then. And then the other people that are coming in, we'll just tell them that majority ruled. So we're going to start doing Mondays. All right, we'll be on Mondays and we'll do 2 o'clock Eastern. And I'm thinking, honestly, it's not going to go longer than an hour and a half tops. And the reason for that is it may fluctuate from week to week, because what I'm going to do to start with is do a 10-minute presentation on what we're going to be covering that day and what we're going to be doing. So you could start getting your head wrapped around it. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go in and I'm going to do the actual work for whichever business I'm building. All right. And you could work right there too. And we'll work in silence for minimum of 30 minutes to get through that. All right. So I'm working here and you're working here and everything. And then at the end, we'll go back and open it for questions if you're having problems with something, because that way we could address the problems without breaking the flow of doing the work. But if you do have issues, we could address it so it's there in the recording for you, so you can go back and reference it afterwards too. Does that sound like a decent way to do it for everybody?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I had a different kind of idea of that. I thought we would be watching you, how you are doing the task or like certain part of setting up the system.
Oh, that is what I'm going to be doing.
And maybe, but not inside, like, I don't imagine this doing like us at the same time with you. It's more like, I think us, for me, like watching you, how you do it, maybe you kind of guiding us through it, like, okay, what you're doing and why you are doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then maybe we do it as a homework or as a group together.
Oh,
But
that would
after-
be, that is how it's going to be structured. All right. But you have the option if you want to, because I'm going to send you what's being worked out ahead of time and what you need to bring. So if you want to do it at the same time, you can. It's just a matter of having two windows open. So for example, if I open up, GrooveFunnels and we're going to create our first website together, I'm going to say, this is how you do this, and I'll do it, and I'll plug in whatever business I'm working on and show you how to do that. And then I'm going to sit there for like just a little minute or two and let you plug it in if you want to do it in an open window at the same time. Or you just watch the recording after and take your time, hit pause, and you can do it over the next course. The only reason why I wanted to give you enough time to do the work during the actual session too is because when you have a set time frame in front of you, you tend to get the work done a lot quicker, because you're sitting there listening anyway. So if you're doing it when I'm doing it myself, you're getting it done. By the time we're done with that workshop, you're going to have that step already done. Because it doesn't have to be perfect. There's only certain things that you want to make sure you don't make a mistake on the information that's going in with, when you're connecting PayPal, Stripe, that kind of thing. But when you're actually creating your website design and all of this other stuff, it doesn't have to be perfect at first. It just doesn't. It's more important for it to be there so that step is done, because you could always go back and fine tune it after, So if you want to do it with me, then by the time that session's done, you're going to go, wow, I'm done with this step. And then you have the opportunity for the next week to go back and fine tune it. Because if you, at least I find this to be true of a lot of people I've worked with in the past anyway, is that you say, okay, here it is, be done with this by, next week when we get together again. Everybody waits until last minute. And a lot of times it's not done when they get back into the class. So, and I'm guilty of that myself, I have to admit. So the last workshop that I was in a couple of weeks ago, when I was learning how to do a very specific marketing thing called quiz funnels, that's what I did. As they were teaching it, I was doing it, on the side. And by the time that the workshop was done, I was able to, say, yay, done, and send it off for their technical team to do the final text aspect. But they give you up to a year to get that completed. So I was really afraid that I would just keep on putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And so I did it as we were working. And I really liked that so much. That's why I thought on this one that, I'd give you the opportunity to work side by side. But you certainly don't have to. I would recommend you do, but you don't have to. You could watch the video, go on the membership site, watch the video and do the work at your own pace. If you feel better doing that.
Thank you, Cheryl. What I was concerned about was like you're doing it in silence and we like watching and trying to do it ourselves. And like this didn't make sense to me.
No, and I shouldn't. I misspoke that. I don't mean in silence, me being in silence. Like I'm going to be, I just, I meant like if there's a lot of questions that come up that we just hold our questions until the end of that session.
Yeah. So thank you for that clarification. I was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Sorry about that.
Okay. That makes sense.
Good.
So I am really a baby when it comes to technology. I'm not even sure if I know how to open up 2 windows at the same time.
Okay.
And I'm already feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, don't, because I'm going to write myself a note right here. All right. And just give me a second.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that because I was going to just get my laptop and my desktop because I don't know how to do it at the same time either.
And I happen to have a desktop that has a big screen, so it's easy for me to open 2 windows and do 2 things at once. But if you are on a laptop, you may not want to do that. But the reason why I was writing myself a note is in the preliminary work stuff that I put up. I'll throw in some screenshots to show you how to do that. All right.
Oh, thank you.
And also, let me just put this out here right now. If, say I give you this document that this has to be ready, if you want to come to the first workshop with it being done, and there's something that you don't know, I'm going to apologize in advance. As much as I try to think with a beginner's mind, I've been at this for so long that sometimes it's hard, but I remember what it was like when I did my first coaching thing with somebody and paid rather big money for it at the time. And they were just like, blah, 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 do this. And I'm like, I don't even know what that word means, And so I try to be aware of the beginner mindset on this.
I know it's difficult. Yeah. I understand.
And so please jump in, send me an email, whatever. And if it's something that you truly, I can make a quick video to show you how to do it. And throw it up into the members area, because if you're having an issue with it, you're probably not going to be the only one, So, I'm happy to do a quick screenshot or a quick video to show you how that aspect needs to be done. So no question too small. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no question too small. And, sometimes when you say that, people ask, I will say this because this is like a little tiny pet peeve of mine. When somebody doesn't read the whole thing when the explanation is right there, or they ask the same question that the person just before asked, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I see that in larger groups. You guys all seem so present and everything. I don't see that happening, but I have been known to say to people before, that's something you can Google because it's like a super, super obvious thing. But, but again, put everything out there because we're a small group and I'm happy to do it. But
in the meantime, I'm going to see if I can figure this out myself. opening up 2 screens, and if I'm really struggling.
On my computer, it's just a matter of, I work in Chrome, and, where the little URLs up on top, there's a little plus button if I want to, if I want to open another window in Chrome.
Open up the tab.
And so
Okay.
once I have more than one window open, you can drag that window into a separate part of your screen. So they're not linear, they're not in a row. Right again. And if you want, I can show you right now, because I think that I can share my screen.
Have the time.
And let me show you that real quick. So let me pull up. So I have to share my desktop again and share screen. Why is it? Oh, there we go. So that's this one. Okay, so are you seeing Google?
Yes.
All right, so, and actually the way that I shared my screen, I'm not sure if you will see this when I do it, but see this little plus button over here?
Yeah.
Right? So say over here, we're on a Zoom, all right? And we're working in Zoom, all right? So that's gonna be a Zoom screen, and it'll be our workshop, that we're in that room, all right? What you can do is you can open this new tab and you can go to your GrooveAccount, all right? And open that. And then what you do is you just pull this out. And I'm not sure if you're seeing that now because of the way I shared my screen, but I'm moving it away to another part of my desktop. All right.
Oh, okay.
And that's all you have to do. And it's just a matter of if your desktop is big enough for you to be able to see both. And if not, I forget who said it, another thing that you can do very easily is join the Zoom on, if you have a tablet or something, and use your laptop or your desktop to open your GrooveAccount and do the actual work, that way, and listen off of the tablet. I wouldn't suggest using a cell phone for that though, because it's a little too small to see some things, that you're trying to do. So I would either do a split screen if you want to do the work while we're doing it together, or have the Zoom be on a tablet, and you're working on your laptop or your desktop.
Yeah, and I only have a laptop myself right now, and I don't have it connected to a big monitor. So what I will probably do, and this is another way to do it, is I'll have the 2 windows, but instead of them side by side, because then they're both kind of narrow when it's a smaller screen, I'll have both windows, one on top of the other, and I can just flip back and forth. One will go behind, and then I click on the other. So there's a few ways to do it, and we can make sure that everybody is set up and good to go that first day of the workshop, and then it'll be all good.
Cool. And Becca, I just noticed that there were chat things up there. You had been keeping track of all of that. Okay. So and so that's what I'm thinking of that. And now we kind of firmed a couple of things up today. It'll be Mondays at 2:00 Eastern. And let me pull up a calendar really quick too, because I still think, there's only a few days between when Groove actually closes down beta. So I'm thinking the week of the 22nd through the 27th is when I'll make sure you have something with information on what that first workshop is going to have. And then our first class could be on the 28th, because that's pretty much the first week of March. And does that work for everybody?
February 28th is the first workshop? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to pretty much follow that 5-step plan. So for the first week, and some of it might go over and carry into another week, just because of if some things are a little bit more complex than the next, but a lot of it is going to be that homework to do in between, because you can't fit your thought process into that small frame of time, And so I'll try to be as detailed as I can be in that preliminary work and give you a little guidance and stuff as best I can, All right. And
So
then
I'm sorry, I just looked at my calendar. I do have something on the 28th, which I'm gonna move it. It's a dental appointment. So
Okay.
yeah, I'll move it so I can be here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want to miss this.
Okay. And again, though, know that I made the decision on this call. We're going to put it into a members area and you'll have access to it. Okay.
It's a good idea, I think, to
Good.
give us a taste, like even like what it looks like and how it works from the customer's side.
Yes. Very much so. Okay. So actually, my hubby just got home. I heard the truck in the driveway. If there's not any more questions, I'm going to ask that we kind of scoot out. He and I have plans today.
Yeah, it's
Today's
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
You're
thank you.
welcome. And so glad to see everybody here today. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so the replay of this, if you want to share it with anybody, will be up within the next 24 hours for sure.
Okay.
And
we can still invite other people, right? If they are
Absolutely.
interested to join.
Absolutely. We actually started including all of the links in that event page. I don't know if you noticed that, but if you scroll to the bottom of the description, we put Becca's Facebook page and my Facebook page where the replays are going to live. And so they could watch the replays on either one of our pages. And then also there's the link for the official Groove. My husband's in my driveway, but he's calling. Oh my God, I have him locked out. My front door is locked.
Okay.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye. I'm like, why is he calling me? I forgot I locked the door. Usually I keep it open for the dog. I'm so embarrassed. But anyway, all the information is there. And so to all of you, and I'm going to
thank you.
I'll let Becca shut everything down. Bye, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's, yeah.